Tonight on CFTK-TV News, Ridley Island AltaGas employees are in the midst of a strike. BC's premier is attempting to save many mill workers' jobs, and Surrey's mayor is not happy with the city's police budget.
Northwest BC's only television news team. We are CFTK-TV News.
Good evening, I'm Cale Baslett, and here's what's making the news in the Northwest and beyond for today. The employees of AltaGas that work at the Ridley Island propane export terminal have been on strike for about a week now. The strike was initiated by the union that the workers are a part of, ILWU Local 523B, and the biggest reason as to why the strike seemingly began is because of unsafe working conditions. While the union is also seeking better wages and improved working conditions, the company's alleged attempt to get rid of the minimum safe manning plan, which puts a limit on how many propane transfers a crew can conduct, looks to be the main point of contention. It's not currently clear how long the strike could go on for. SCADA MLA Claire Rattay has publicly released a statement that addressed John Rustad's recent decision to step down as leader of the BC Conservative Party. She formally expressed her gratitude to Rustad for everything that he has done for the conservative movement in the province of British Columbia. She also sincerely wished Rustad success in whatever he does next. She last professed confidence that the party's interim leader, Trevor Halford, will be able to bring stability as the party prepares to enter the next stage of their existence. The Premier is hoping to salvage the jobs of hundreds of mill workers on Vancouver Island now facing unemployment. David Eby held meetings in the hope that the Crofton pulp mill can stay open. While he blames the U.S. trade war, the company is pointing the finger at government regulations. CTV's Penny Daflos explains.
350 people clock into good-paying jobs at this Vancouver Island pulp mill. They're now being laid off as the company operating the Crofton mill plans to close it permanently.
It's a real punch to the gut for our whole community.
Weeks before Christmas in a longtime logging town.
It supported our family and so many families in this town. It's part of our heritage.
Once you lose those, they're pretty hard to get back. And these are people who, they shop at our local businesses that contribute a lot to our local economy.
Workers will be on site until February and in some cases April.
The company claims tariffs aren't the main issue, instead blaming the closure on government regulations. Domtar says logging approvals that used to take weeks now take years, and they've been importing wood fiber from the U.S. to keep the operation running.
It's cheaper and it's more readily available and dependable in terms of its supply. And so that should give an indication to British Columbians of where we're at.
This is a 5-alarm dumpster fire.
It's not just British Columbia. 4 sectors across Canada and around the world are facing significant challenges.
The NDP points to U.S. tariffs and insists there are international factors and commodity prices at play.
We have 7 million cubic meters of permitted trees on Vancouver Island that are available right now that can't be used because between the low prices and the cost to cut down those trees, but particularly to transport them to the facility, is such that it's uneconomic.
Premier David Eby has now met with the union and mayor of North Cowichan and recognizes the ripple effects to the economy on the island and beyond.
We're all hands on deck to try to figure out if there's some way to keep this facility operating.
The issue is fiber supply, and so if we can't do it, it's a real challenge for anybody to come in.
The forestry sector is one of many industries that's been urging policymakers to clear up red tape to help keep them viable. This appears to be another example where the government is trying to stem the bleeding after the fact rather than being more proactive. Penny Daflos, CTV News, Vancouver.
Coming up next, a court case revolving around a murder case has seen a twist. Welcome back. The mayor of Surrey is not saying "I told you so," but her concerns are turning into reality. She's slamming the latest ballooning budget from the Surrey Police Service. She says if approved, it would mean a hefty property tax hike for Surrey residents. But critics say the mayor is playing politics. CTV's Dimitra Maragos has the story.
Mayor Brenda Locke.
We will not accept this budget at this rate at this time.
Strongly opposes the $91 million increase in the Surrey Police Service's provisional budget of more than $330 million.
We know it's going to cost more for a municipal police force. We've said that all along. but this is completely unacceptable.
Locke says this will fall on the taxpayers and result in an 18% property tax increase.
I don't think there's any taxpayer in the city of Surrey that would even want us to consider it.
The chair of the Surrey Police Board says,
honestly, I was quite surprised.
This wasn't the response he was expecting.
The board's responsibility is to ensure SPS has the resources required to keep Surrey safe.
He says the board is willing to come to the table to find middle ground.
We requested a meeting with mayor and council. I believe we're at 3 times now through the board and have not had a response yet.
City Councillor Linda Annis, who's challenging Locke for the mayor's position in next year's election, is slamming her opponent.
Largely, this lies at the feet of the mayor. She has done everything she possibly can to derail, to stop this transition, and we need to get on with it.
She says the funding for this increase is there.
We know that they are within the $250 million funding allotment from the province.
And increases should be expected.
When you're starting a transition, as you move through, upfront costs like IT, police cars and equipment cost more.
SPS has expanded their jurisdiction to all of South Surrey. They believe this transition will be done between 2026 and 2027. Dimitri Marigo, CTV News, Surrey.
Turning to an emotionally charged day in court, a surprising development has emerged from the 70-year-old man who killed a young Indigenous mother of 2, a twist that has delayed the sentencing. Chelsea Gauthier was stabbed to death 8 years ago. CTV's Michelle Bernard reports on why the family was so disappointed in their long wait for justice.
Gary, anything you would like to say to the family?
Whether it's outside the courthouse or in police interviews like this one obtained by CTV News through court.
I didn't do it and I want to get this cleared up.
For years, Gary Loesch has repeatedly denied having anything to do with the killing of 22-year-old Chelsea Gauthier 8 years ago.
Like, what do you think happened to her when she was up there?
I have no idea. I don't know. I can't say. I don't know.
But Wednesday, family thought Loesch was about to tell the truth.
Mr. Loesch was anticipated today at the conclusion of proceedings, which didn't occur, that he was prepared to give a statement to the family, accepting responsibility for what he's done and apologizing.
But the apology didn't come as court waits for a report on whether Loesch has Indigenous heritage that should be considered during sentencing. Gauthier was killed in 2017. Her partially clothed body was found in a remote forested area near Mission, where she had gone with Loesch to help tend to his marijuana grow operations. There was no evidence of sexual assault, but for years her killing went unsolved. Defense told the judge an apology was forthcoming after Loesch, who sobbed in court Tuesday, heard gut-wrenching victim impact statements. Still, family and friends question whether an apology would even be sincere.
All of a sudden, there is so much remorse for what he has done, and not once through the trial was one tear shed.
I think it's all for show. If he was sorry, he would have said something prior. He's had multiple years and multiple opportunities to admit to something, to apologize, and he is only doing it now.
Crown is asking for a sentence of 14 years. Defense thinks 10 is more appropriate. But for now, the sentencing has been put on hold.
Meaning for now, Loesch, who has an extensive criminal history, remains free on bail. Michelle Bernoro, CTV News, Abbotsford.
With colder weather on the way, experts are reminding drivers to prepare their vehicles, especially when it comes to having the right tires. Ben Nisbet saw firsthand just how big a role they play.
And suddenly, brake.
It happens quickly. You're cruising along when suddenly you're forced to hit the brakes. Experts say the tires on your vehicle will likely be a key factor in what happens next.
That winter tire is going to give you the best vehicle control, the best acceleration from a stop, the best braking.
Dan Guilfoyle is a driving instructor at the Justice Institute of BC. He says when temperatures dip below 7 degrees, all-season tires become less effective.
Hard on the brakes, hard on the brakes, hard on the brakes. Now.
Wednesday, he gave us a chance to test this out, putting us through a series of maneuvers on the track. First, in a vehicle with all-season tires, then another with winters.
A lot of people run with the all seasons, the mud and snows. they are not going to have the same vehicle control.
We also tested out bringing the vehicle to a stop from 50 and 60 kilometers an hour. The difference was more than a car's length.
That speed is going to be the difference between stopping before an accident or actually colliding with the vehicle ahead of you.
As winter sets in, drivers are reminded to slow down, prepare their vehicles, and follow speed limits so everyone makes it home safely. Ben Nesbitt, CTV News, Pitt Meadows.
And now we take a look at both your nightly and weekly weather forecast. On the north coast, tonight's weather should see a chance of showers and a low at 6 degrees, while the upcoming week will see lots of rain as well, with the high shifting from 7 to 5 degrees. In the Terrace-Kitimat area, their night will see a chance of showers as well, but with a low at 1 degree. And the rest of the week will deal with a combination of snow and rain, as their high bounces between 2 and 0 degrees. In the Bulkley Valley and Lakes District, the night for them calls for mainly cloudy conditions and a low at -6 degrees, with the next week or so expecting to be pretty snowy with a high moving from -2 to 0 degrees. Checking out the highways now, visit Drive BC for the latest and up-to-date conditions, and as always, drive safe out there. Highway 16 has construction work, bridge maintenance, utility work, road maintenance work, other maintenance planned, and the Usk Ferry is out of service due to the low river level. Highway 37 has utility work and construction work. Highway 37A is still dealing with falling rocks between west of Biziadin and east of Stewart, as well as some industrial traffic. And this is what the roads were looking like this afternoon around the region from the View of the Province's highway cams. Still to come, it's still not really known how much the World Cup will cost taxpayers. Welcome back. Fire investigators are waiting until a building in Richmond is deemed safe to enter before beginning a full inspection. The apartment complex in Steveston suddenly caught fire, and now dozens of people are out of their homes. Sidjan Alexander has the details.
Just before 8 o'clock, the sound of someone in distress when smoke is suddenly spotted.
Oh my God, there's fire.
Is there?
There's smoke coming from the top of that.
Call 911.
Multiple calls are made Tuesday night as flames are clearly tearing through an apartment on the 3rd floor.
Oh my God.
Firefighters on scene, the battle in this huge rental apartment complex in Steveston is focused on the roof. Fire now poking through several spots.
Every crew in the city but one is here at this fire.
The strategy paid off as crews got the upper hand and won. Residents who could snuck back in to find loved ones, like Prince Harry.
Yeah.
The cat, that is, companion to an 84-year-old woman.
I'm surprised this cat's still there. I was in there searching. He was hiding, I don't even know where, but it took me a while to find him.
Honestly, it was really terrifying because even though there's a bit of distance between the buildings, you just never know.
At least 18 units have been damaged, but by day, residents are surprised the building is still standing. There was so much fire, so much smoke.
It became so thick from all the water, it actually lowered down here and covered this entire area like fog.
This is a pet-friendly complex. There were a lot inside, and it's not clear whether they've all been found.
I couldn't take the birds. We got 7 birds that fly free because I couldn't catch them, and so we left the windows open. I know that's a no-no, but I thought that's the only way the birds might survive.
Both cats survived the fire. That's the main thing, and it was the apartment right next to where the fire was. And we found them, and they were both alive, so that's all we needed to do.
And it may be some time before the exact cause is known. But what's remarkable, in a building this size, everyone got out.
Often when we've seen these in the past, what really saves people is they're responding to the alarm and getting out of the building in a timely, efficient manner.
In fact, only one person was hurt, and his injuries are described as minor. St. John Alexander, CTV News, Richmond.
The World Cup starts in 6 months, but there are still plenty of unknowns about the cost to taxpayers. Independent journalist Bob Mackin wanted to find out about the billions of dollars set aside by the city of Vancouver to buy pricey lounge and suite packages. And tonight he's sharing his FOI results, or a lack thereof. CTV's Shannon Patterson has the story.
When BC Place hosts 7 World Cup matches next year, some spectators will watch from the comfort of very swanky and very expensive lounges and private suites.
These are VIP tickets for some of the best locations inside BC Place for the World Cup matches that are coming here in June and July.
As a World Cup host, FIFA offered Vancouver early access to VIP suite and lounge packages at face value that the city could turn around and sell to large companies and regional sponsors, presumably for a profit.
All they told me back in July was that they got about $13.4 million set aside to make these purchases.
So the editor of the Breaker News made a Freedom of Information request to the City of Vancouver.
I made that FOI request to find out how much they ordered and how much they were invoiced for, and what I got back was grayed out, redacted, censored. They don't want us to know how many tickets and suites and lounges they bought and how much they paid.
The redacted documents didn't reveal if the city has managed to resell any of the VIP suites and lounge tickets it bought with taxpayer dollars.
They can't keep this hidden from us forever. I've complained to the Information Privacy Commissioner.
This is 100% an accountability issue. If the City of Vancouver is going to use taxpayer money to essentially act as a ticket scalper, we deserve to know exactly how much money they spent, how much interest they've received, and whether or not this ends up being a good deal for taxpayers.
In an email, the city would only confirm that any ticket purchases it's made are in support of FIFA's sponsorship program, which generates revenue to offset the hosting costs.
Will they be able to sell all these tickets and packages, and to whom? In this economic environment, when so many companies are looking at cutting back and laying off staff, the question is, will there be any clients for this package?
It's a question the city doesn't seem prepared to answer. Shannon Patterson, CTV News, Vancouver.
And now for a look at a different kind of campaign meant for Movember that is also looking to bring awareness to the importance of mental health for men. CTV's Yvonne Raymond has more of the details.
3.5 hours into the longest kayak ride of his life, Ethan Reed is smiling and a little apprehensive with more than 20 hours to go.
After 8 to 10 hours, I think it all is just the same, really. It's just all gonna hurt. I don't know if I'm gonna even be there, to be honest. I think by that time I'm gonna be kind of just tired and ready to go home, but I'm gonna feel accomplished and yeah, proud of myself and proud of the community that came together to make it possible.
Supporters have helped him raise thousands of dollars in a Movember campaign for men's mental health in exchange for the 24-hour paddle.
Oh, it's amazing. For somebody that's literally half my age to put this much effort and care into something like this is, it's awesome, and that's why I'm here.
Ethan isn't going alone. Just like paddling with people, improved mental health struggles of his own.
It was mostly in high school. Spent most of my time playing video games, and I always wondered why I didn't feel good, why I felt isolated, I felt angry. And then I moved away and started working at a paddle shop and started paddling more often, getting outside more often, and then it was just almost instantly, I just felt connected to a community and connected to nature and to myself even.
Mental health service leaders say after years of work, they're seeing a shift, thanks to men like Ethan who are talking about it.
More men, I think, are opening the door to what can be life-changing conversations. All it takes sometimes is a moment of vulnerability and a personal story. So I share my own story as a man about living with depression. And that can open a crack often for other men to go, oh, okay, I'm not the only one. Someone else has had this experience.
Ethan's tip, find your passion.
It could be sewing, it can be going outside, it can be playing guitar, it can be literally any little thing. Just find passion.
He's saddled to his for better or worse through sunrise tomorrow.
It's for better good, and yeah, I'm having fun, so right now at least.
Yvonne Raymond, CTV News, View Royal.
Now we turn our attention to how the stock markets are looking as of today compared to yesterday. The Canadian dollar is down to 1/100 of a cent. The price of gold is up $10.50. Oil is up 72 cents. Natural gas is up 7 cents. Aluminum is down $5. In Toronto, the TSX is up 317.03 points. The Venture Index is up 5.54. In New York, the Dow Jones is down 31.96. And Nasdaq is up 51.05. Still ahead, the Canucks could be trending towards trading their captain. Welcome back. There are 32 teams in the NHL, and after their loss in Denver, the Canucks are barely ahead of just 2 of them. As CTV's Ben Milger reports, fans may be losing interest only a third of the way into the season, and even worse, the captain could be too. Here's this week's Ringside Report.
Nice pass on the left wing. Steve Bain centers. Carlson scores!
This Linus Carlson goal early in the first was about all the Canucks had to celebrate in a 3-1 loss to the Colorado Avalanche.
It's tough to lose. We need the points right now, so it's frustrating. But I don't think we played bad.
On their 4-game road trip, the Canucks beat the Ducks and then lost 3 straight to San Jose, LA, and Colorado. They've only won twice in the last 7 games and have just 10 total wins on the season.
This is a flawed roster. This is a team that was poorly constructed, hasn't been able to withstand those injuries. There isn't nearly enough depth.
Following Tuesday night's loss in Colorado, the Canucks now sit 30th out of 32 teams in the National Hockey League, just 1 point out of last place.
The irony in all of this is that the Canucks were trying to prove to Quinn Hughes that they could build a contending roster around him, and yet they've fallen flat on their face. And so you can understand his frustration.
That frustration clearly evident on this third period play against the Avalanche, where Hughes seemed to let up on the back check, allowing Colorado a grade A scoring chance. Even if it doesn't always lead to results, the captain continues to wow most nights in the offensive zone. But there are no moral victories here.
Wins are the most important thing. If you lose, but you lose 3-1 and not 5-1 or whatever not, you're still losing.
With a season and a half left on his contract and no trade protection, Hughes' value on the block may never be higher than it is now. But if the Canucks part with their captain and his generational talent, morale in the fan base may hit an all-time low. Ben Milger, CTV News, Vancouver.
Metro Vancouver transit provider TransLink says its board has approved a plan that would see several upgrades to its Handy Dart shuttle service for people unable to navigate traditional public transit. TransLink says its board voted in favor of service upgrades, including extending service hours from 2 a.m. to midnight. The plan also calls for the introduction of new software that would allow TransLink to provide online bookings and cancellations as well as real-time monitoring of the service. About 32,000 people are registered as Handy Dart users across Metro Vancouver. That's all of our news for now. From everyone here at CFTK-TV News, I'm Cale Maslin, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.